And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, Futures family. It's time for a little market reflection. The day is over. We can relax, sit back, and take a little bit of a ponder about what happened in the markets today. It's still Tuesday, May the 30th. Thanks for trusting me with your time. My name is John Hoagland. And so what happened today? Not much as far as equities are concerned. Our most important economic number that came out today, the May consumer confidence number, came out higher than expected. They were looking for 99. It came out 102.3. Even more interesting than that, I think, is the revision from the previous month. It was 101.3. It came out 103.7. So confidence in April was higher than they originally released. Still a little bit lower, well, a little bit higher than this release today was a little bit lower than that, but still higher than the expected number. So confidence in the economy, the consumer is feeling a little bit more confident, and I find that interesting. This is the May number, so as we come into June. We'll have to see how that plays out with the debt ceiling situation, all of that. As far as our equities are concerned, the S&P is basically closed for all intents and purposes just about even. The NASDAQ was up about 54 points at 40.44%. The Dow minus 45 points, down 0.14%. Crude oil down $3.21, closing at $69.46. That's down 4.4%. Crude oil broke down below that trend line. Also, I think, ended up closing below the weekly kickoff low. So that is also very interesting. The House Rules Committee is currently debating the debt ceiling. I was just watching it for a few minutes. It's so difficult to watch. It really is. It's just so, contentious. It's so... Is anybody telling the truth is the question that I have. I don't know. As far as Barkin, our one talking Fed today, policy, a couple of things he said kind of stuck out to me. Policy is in restrictive territory, but there is uncertainty around where rates need to go. And inflation is going to be more stubborn than most people hope. We did have the Beige Book come out at 1 p.m. Central today. It's usually not a very impactful release. It takes time to read and digest, but it also marks that there are 2 weeks until the next FOMC meeting. The speculation of slowing of the rate hikes is kind of fallen off a little bit to the idea that we're probably going to see another rate hike. And of course, anything can change according to what happens with this debt ceiling situation. I'm getting almost tired of saying it. But make sure that you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do go live. It's good to see everybody this afternoon. George, good morning. Lacey sends her regards as well. The center of the universe. Vince, good afternoon. Robert, Les, Dr. VJ, Alejandro, and Dr. VJ. Yes, good evening. Good evening. So we're going to take a look through these charts and, see what happened. There were a couple of things I'm not sure that I necessarily mentioned in the prep this morning, but in Make Hope Money, we talked about the idea of a potential value area special situation play in the S&Ps that pretty much played out almost to the tick if you were looking at volume value. And then we saw a nice pop after that. Nice little move, or at least sustaining a move to the upside here in gold. I'm finding that interesting. I don't think that the downside auction has been performing all that well. We may take another look at that tomorrow morning as we look a little bit deeper into some of the open interest information. Yesterday was a non-settlement day. It always kind of freaks me out because some of the charts on the platforms that I look at combine the 2 days together, and it just seems to make things a little bit blurry for me. But I did end up having a pretty decent day. I really took one trade today, and it was a value area special situation playing the S&Ps. Now, this is a particular setup. It's rarely an easy trade to take, and it wasn't today either. I had to really try and be patient and wait for good trade location to get into the trade. We'll take a look at that again very shortly. As far as tomorrow is concerned, as far as economic, we've got Chicago PMI, job opens, labor turnovers. That's going to be our first look at employment information this week. We've got ADP and jobless claims Thursday and unemployment on Friday. So aside from the unknowns and uncertainties that are in the markets, at least we have the knowledge that we have those things coming at us. Again, tomorrow, the beige book. Oh, yeah. Did I say that came out today? No, it comes out tomorrow, Wednesday, 2 weeks before the FOMC release. So we will just have to wait and see how that plays out. For some reason, I'm confused on what day it is. That has a tendency to happen. That does have a tendency to happen when there's a holiday. Alex, great question. Any reading material on better entries? Well, if you ask me, one of the most important books in trading is Mind Over Markets by James Dalton. But if you are in our Discord channel, Thursdays office hours, which you probably get an email about it, Alex, if you do get our emails, I'm going to be talking on just that subject. We're going to be talking about entries and exits, and that might be something that you'll want to think about joining. We also have group coaching tomorrow. I can give you the link for group coaching tomorrow, and that's something that we'll have more time to look at, more time to think about, and we can kind of go through some of the charts, and we're going to go through the charts this afternoon still, but during the group coaching I tend to have a little bit more time and to be kind of more set up for these kinds of questions. So here's the link, Alex. Paste. There we go. The coaching office hours are, I think, from 11 to 12:30, or from 10:30 to 11. I think it's 11. I think it's 10:30 till 12. So it's an hour and a half. I'll be there for probably about an hour talking about just that subject, just talking about finding good entries, and thinking about good exits. Now, there was a situation today in the S&Ps where we are going to go over right now, where there was an acceptance of previous value, and then the market went all the way to the other extreme of that value, and that's where the market really kind of turned. And if you had that as a target for a short, you got out really well. And if you looked at a long from there, you also did pretty well on the return back into value from today's session on that. I'm going to stop yammering, and I'm going to get this set up here for us, so we're going to be able to see just that. We're going to start here with the daily and the S&Ps. Now, we were looking at this market this morning as maybe hoping we were going to be able to hold above last week's high. It didn't play out that way, right? So looking at the 30-minute chart, check this out. I said pretty much this morning that I was going to kind of be ignoring the range from yesterday. I was looking at this as pretty much a very long overnight, because there was no major participation. Look at the volume during the day session yesterday. there was really just nothing there. Nothing great, right? So the market opens, and if we look at this, it looks like maybe we got a little bit too long and short time frame before the open. We couldn't take out the overnight high. The market started heading back into the range from Friday. Again, I was kind of ignoring the range from yesterday with the lack of volume. Well, as the market kind of entered into and popped out of and into and popped out of the value area from yesterday, this was starting to look more like acceptance. So just looking for a good trade location to get into a short, which ended up really being last week's high. We traded up to it, we failed. We traded up to it, we failed. Acceptance inside value from Friday put us in a situation where there was a pretty good probability that price might rotate all the way back down to the low of value from Friday, which is right where it went to. Didn't spend a lot of time. We saw some excess left down there, and the market returned to value, and basically it looks like it's closed here at the point of control from today. So a good entry when we find a value area special situation play like we did today would be, if we're showing signs of acceptance and value after opening outside of that range, sometimes the market will pop up and then come back in, pop up, come back in. So pretty decent trade for shorts once we found that we were showing signs of acceptance inside value from Friday. Again, market trading almost directly to that value low from Friday, which completes the value area special situation play. So tomorrow, what are we looking at here? Let's see. So excess high, excess low, IB high, normal variation, neutral trading day. This market is truly looking for new information. So here we have another recent high in overnight session. Markets don't like to leave that. We're got to keep that in the back of our mind. If this market starts to grow some legs to the upside, that's going to be a pretty decent target. Dan, have family visiting this week, so kind of taking this week off. Well, that's all right, Dan. It's always good to have family around. Hope you guys have an opportunity to really spend some good time together, right? All right. So on the daily, recent overnight highs, excess on this high, it makes me a little bit nervous, but it is a relatively poor high. There's a lot of exactness in this high, and that's generally going to be, something I'll be keeping an eye on. And anything that comes out about this debt ceiling situation can affect the market greatly. That one side or the other, no matter how good the bill is, and no matter whether they get it passed or not, some people are going to be unhappy about it. So just keep that in mind. So we had the value area special situation play in the S&Ps today. Take a look at crude oil. Excuse me. So we had 3 points of contact on this trend line on the daily. Really 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't hold it. Then we look for a continuation. We look for some sort of directional move on a break like that, because this is a pretty solid trend line. Then the market comes down and tests the weekly kickoff low. Did it close below it? It did. Market opened. We watched this on the prep. Opening range was the high of the session. It makes us look for shorts the whole way. No gap close, no attempt at a gap close. We don't want to be looking for longs in a situation like this. Longs on a situation like this would just be brutal. We're going to close that out. There we go. Boom. So we did close below weekly kickoff low. It's another point of control, but I'll get rid of that later. We do have visuals down below. Here's the TPO. So points of control, more visuals lower. Maybe. I'm really concerned about these. So where is the White House going to start to purchase crude oil for the Strategic Petroleum Reserve? I didn't see, although I didn't watch that closely, I didn't see that they had any plans to do that solid. NASDAQ. Even the NASDAQ has excess at the high on the daily chart. Excess, long shadow, indecision, 30-minute. Another overnight recent high here in the NASDAQ. Market doesn't like to leave those, but the market pretty much came off all day long. What didn't it do? What does happen and what does happen? What does happen and what doesn't happen are equally as important. We didn't really see much acceptance inside Friday's area of value. We looked inside. We had one 30-minute bar close there, and we left. Rejection of value in the NASDAQ from Friday. Acceptance of value on Friday. Today in the S&Ps. Well, we'll get our own settlement price today, so things can go back to normal on my charts. Here's the TPO chart. It's going to look like a little bit of long liquidation. That wasn't supposed to happen. Here we go. So a little bit of long liquidation. B shape. Excess at the high. Kind of low excess at the low. And don't forget we have a new recent high in the overnight session. Anissa, we know what that means, don't we? Take a look at gold. Gold a little buoyant this afternoon, this session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact now on this trend line. We did move into the August contract. Make sure you're trading the most liquid contract, which today became the August contract. Here's the 30-minute. So we closed the gap to yesterday. Certainly closed the gap to Friday. Got right to the gap close, and things turned around. So not a bad day for gold as far as price action is concerned. Let's see what kind of open interest we come up with tomorrow morning. We got a little bit of work to do, and I think we need to bring in a lot of new business if we're going to push this market higher from this point. But again, we've started with higher lows and higher highs. Euro. Excess low on the daily. Still holding downside structure, much like gold. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 points of contact on this trend line. Here's the 30. Our entire range today was largely inside the value area from Friday. No real good information or opportunities here, or any bigger opportunities. If you suspected a range-bound day, maybe you did all right. Here's the TPO chart for it. Here's value low. Here's value high. Inside, look at that weak low. You got a ledge at the bottom here. Interesting. And look at the 10-year. So, I'm a little bit confused by this. We did see rates kind of creep lower today, so I think it makes sense. Did we break market state? Maybe. Maybe, but I don't see rates falling much lower. Pretty decent move. Again, We should be trading the September contract today. What did this look like? So a gap close to Friday. Buyers come in, push the market higher. Pretty decent day. Is this a double distribution trend day? No. Close. Close. We got a weak high. Excess low, excess low, excess low, excess low, weak high, weak high. We've still got a little bit of a gap to yesterday, from yesterday to today. I don't know how much I think about that. What are the natural gas? Went a little bit lower here. Here's the weekly kickoff low. Here's the 30 again. Weekly kickoff low. Really just barcoding when the market opened. Sellers came in and really barreled into this thing. And we started to get a little bit of a delta divergence here. So it seems that there was an adjustment in longer time frame that our shorter time frame traders were able to benefit from right at the end of the day here. We see in the delta here that we have some positive delta as price moves lower. That's usually indicative of longer time frame participation. By the end of the day, they were done making their adjustments, and our longs that fought against them actually ended up getting paid today. It does happen from time to time. Here's the TPO chart. Normal variation, IB high, excess low, but a lot of excess on that daily chart. A little bit. The holiday, I mean, it may have something to do with why the market gapped. You know, the potential for an agreement to avoid default by the U.S. is enough, I think, to keep people cautiously on the long side. I don't know what to think, so I am basically just doing what a short time frame day trader should do, trading what I see, looking for opportunities. Today, the opportunity, we took along in Maycogue money. We stopped out when the market came lower, it popped up a little bit, but we looked for another short, and we ended up taking a good short that brought us down to value low from Monday. And we had the 9 o'clock number coming out, the consumer confidence. So we got out of that trade. We tried to get short again. We ended up canceling that order, but we ended up positive today. But the opportunity that came later on in the session came when we started to show possible acceptance inside value. And then we got our value area special situation finish down to the value low. If you're going to take that trade, you've got to take the profit where you're supposed to. I always put my profits just a little bit short of where I think the price could actually go, just to make sure I get a fill. And then, of course, we got a nice 15 point move, 20 point move off that low that I didn't participate in, but I did get to participate on the way down. So. Andy, I had a good holiday weekend. We did a lot of work around the house. We cleaned out the garage. We cleaned up the whole house, which we'd been working on trying to do since we had new floors put in, and it was very dusty. I think we've got a good handle on the dust now. And then just hung out with my son and my daughter and her boyfriend and had some ribs yesterday and just chilled out. I hope you had a nice weekend as well. The Real Deal Trader did everything wrong today. Couldn't see the market today, hit my loss limit. Then I hit it again in the practice account. Worst day ever in the ES. Well, real deal. I don't know what you're, looking at. And I would imagine, at some point you thought to yourself, this is just not working for me today. I should probably hang it up. And if you'd have hung it up, you'd probably be in better shape now. Don't just keep hitting it. Yeah, don't be embarrassed, man. You wouldn't believe some of the things that I've done. Oh my goodness, there's no reason to be embarrassed. Everybody in trading, everybody that does this has days like that. And now you just got to learn, I don't know your experience level or the things that you're trading, but when things aren't going your way, how often do we, try and press things and make things worse? Sometimes it's the right trade is to just stop, wait until the market aligns with a strategy, wait until your vision gets clearer. We all have days like that, man. We all have days like that. So don't be embarrassed. Just do better tomorrow. Do better tomorrow. A little hint, I don't know your time frame, but I found that if I start my trading day and I have 3 straight losses, now most of the time that's going to take a couple of hours for me to find 3 trades. A little bit longer time frame than some. But if I have 3 straight losing trades, I'm assuming I'm not seeing things right. There's something that I'm not looking for, something that I'm missing, something that I'm dismissing as far as important information. The human brain is a wild thing, if you will. It does a good job of kind of protecting us from things that we should be noticing. The brain likes to disagree with real information sometimes, right? It's like, I'm in this position and I'm seeing this that's telling me this is probably wrong, but I just can't accept that information because I want to be right. So the human brain dismisses information that's contrary to what it thinks, to what you're thinking, and you got to kind of accept that information and make adjustments. And sometimes you're going to see something like that, you're going to get out of the trade, and then the trade's actually going to play out for you. There's no finites in futures trading. There is no certainty. The only certainty there is uncertainty. And when I start to get to that 3 losing trades, if I start to feel angry or upset, I have to stop. I got to take the mouse, put it over here, or take a walk the dog, get a glass of water, walk around a little bit, maybe a little exercise, just to get myself back centered so that I can look at the market objectively, not through the lens of anger or revenge, because anger and revenge just take you out of your strategy. You've got to get that money back, so you start grasping at straws, and it just doesn't work for me all that much. So in 1971, Mariner 9 departed for Mars today. In 1868, the Civil War dead were honored on Decoration Day, which became Memorial Day, which we just had yesterday. As far as music is concerned, in 2013, a new museum dedicated to the life of Johnny Cash staged its official opening. The museum in Nashville, Tennessee. A lot of Johnny Cash artifacts, memorabilia. Just looking at today is CeeLo Green's birthday. He was born today in 1974. Happy birthday, big man. Winona Judd's birthday today, 1964. She was a tough lady. And that is it. Joe, Top Step TV is going well. We used the production software today for the prep. We've got one person that's out of the office this week, so next week we're going to have my co-host Jack, and then we're going to be adding things as we go along. It's going to take a little bit of time. We're learning a lot along the way, and so thinking next week we're going to go on Tuesday and Thursday straight from the prep into Make Hogue Money, and we'll see how things go from there. So thank you for asking. Looking forward to what we're going to be able to put together. I really want to put together something that is useful for you guys, entertaining for you guys, and we're looking forward to having other traders on. Michael's going to be on from time to time, live trading his account with us. It's, I think, going to be a really good opportunity for those that of any experience to come and check out what we're putting together. And again, I'm looking forward to it. Alex, that link I put in is for group coaching tomorrow. Thursday is the office hours in the Discord. If you go into the Discord, I'm pretty sure they'll be putting out the link there. I don't have the link for that session here just yet, but I will see if I can get it for tomorrow for the prep. Maybe we can put all that out there, and then I will look forward to seeing you there, and or group coaching tomorrow. Again, group coaching's at 12:30 tomorrow, and then office hours, coaches' office hours. It's a Zoom meeting. And we'll see if I can't get you the link for tomorrow. All right. Have a great night. Rest up. Do your homework. Call your mom. Brush your teeth. Pet the dog. Eat healthy. Get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for the market prep. Have a good night.